Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I didn't have to shush you all. Welcome to the downtown campus of Lansing Community College in the newly renovated Dart Auditorium. My name is Steve Robinson. I'm the very proud 7th president of Lansing Community College. And on behalf of, And on behalf of our amazing board of trustees, more about them later, it's a wonderful opportunity to welcome the mayor and the city here to Dart Auditorium for the State of the City address. To kick us off, I am very excited to bring up a proud recent graduate of Lansing Community College to sing our national anthem. Please welcome Anna Maria Horn.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red blare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Anna Maria. Anna Maria sang that at our commencement at Breslin Auditorium. I got to tell you what, it sounds even better here on our campus at Dart Auditorium. It is now my honor for the invocation to invite Bishop Alfred Singleton to give us an invocation for this evening. Bishop.
Let us pray. Lord God and Creator, we thank you for the progress we've made in our city together and for the hope we hold for the future. We thank you for the leadership of our mayor, Mayor Andy Schor. We are asking you today to give our city and its leaders, elected and appointed, the foresight and wisdom to overcome the challenges that we will face as a community. Give them the dedication to serve with integrity and unity. This evening, we pray for prosperity and blessings over all of our city leaders, elected and appointed officials, first responders, the faith community, and all of its residents. As we hear about the plans for our city, help us to feel a sense of pride and responsibility. Help us to be inspired, to be good neighbors, and continue to contribute to the growth and well-being of our community. In your mighty name we pray, amen.
Thank you very much, Bishop. The mayor was gracious enough to ask me to give a little update about the college. It will be brief. This is a state of the city, not a state of the college. But I do have a few slides that I want to show you of some pictures about the role that Lansing Community College is playing in moving the city forward. So if we could have those slides in there, I just have a few brief remarks that I'd like to share with you because our Lansing Community College is very, very proud to have the first name as Lansing. So do we have the, thank you. I want to start by recognizing our Board of Trustees. I'm looking at our board, elected officials who, thank you. An historic group of individuals who helped guide this fine institution, and there are a couple things I want to tell you about them, but first I'd like to introduce them individually. The chair of our board, Angela Matthews, is here. Chair Matthews, could you stand up? Sitting next to her is our longest serving trustee, Robert Proctor. Trustee Noel Garcia. Trustee Chatham Taylor. Trustee LaShonda Thomas. Note the matching outfits, I like it. And Trustee Hope Lavelle. Another one of our newer trustees, Dr. Terry Frazier, could not be here this evening, but these folks do so much to support our college, and there are a few things I want to tell you about them, particularly as the college relates to the city. There are about 1,100 community colleges in the United States. There are only 50 that are in capital cities of states across the nation. And in the group of community colleges, Lansing Community College is known as a leader. One of the reasons for that is these trustees are active in all the national organizations. When we are in DC lobbying for community colleges, or we're at the American Association of Community College Trustees, people know about Lansing, Michigan because these individuals are representing the college. So thank you so much for putting Lansing on the map in the community college world. You all know that Lansing Community College has a proud tradition of placemaking. It's something that we've partnered with the city for many, many years, and I hope you were able to see our newly unveiled Changemakers Center on the 3rd floor of the Gannon Building. If you have not, I would challenge you to find another institution of higher education that has taken the role of telling the community's story about the contributions that African Americans have made to their community. We inducted 30 inaugural inductees into the Changemakers Center, and we have a process for inaugurating new people into the center. It is a completely interactive experience. We are very proud of ambient learning at Lansing Community College. That's a form of placemaking. This is what we call placemaking 2.0. It's interactive. You touch on the name of a change maker and you get their bio. You get a video with an interview with people who know them. And there is an interactive timeline about the African American experience in Lansing going all the way back to 1847. If you haven't been there, I invite you to come. I'd love to show it to you myself. Next slide. We are also very excited to continue building public art. As you walk across our campus, there are not many institutions of higher education, let alone community colleges, that are the beautiful kind of places that we have with public sculpture. This is a piece that we are working on right now to basically take our land acknowledgement and turn it into a piece of public art, commemorating the Three Fires Confederacy and the native inhabitants of Lansing. I'm proud to tell you that the Native American community in Lansing was very involved in the planning of this, and as we're getting ready to put it up, our sister college, Bay Mills Community College, which has an Anishinaabe language program, did the final consultation to make sure that this is a culturally sensitive installation. So, next slide. Recently, we also welcomed the Historical Society of Greater Lansing to be right next door at the Rogers Carrier House. As you know, we own and preserve the Rogers Carrier House, which is a Darius Moon home on Capitol Avenue, and the Herman House, where my wife and I have the privilege of living right next door. Not only do we keep these architectural gems in great shape, we now have the Historical Society with its own pocket museum, and they were, for many years, the only historical society in a capital city that didn't have its own museum. And we're really proud to host them, and I hope you get to visit them at this beautiful Queen Anne Victorian that's just next door. And one last little update. I am proud to tell you that after about 12 years of enrollment declines, For 2 consecutive academic years, enrollment is up at Lansing Community College. I joined the college 6 years ago at the peak of the pandemic. There were not students on campus. There were police and nursing students on campus, and me. But now we have a bustling campus center, students back on campus, enrollment back up towards 11,000, and things are going great at Lansing Community College. And finally, one last word about what we're doing for our students. If you read anything about the higher education press, you know that there are many, many unmet student basic needs among college students. Just because you're a college student doesn't mean you have a safe place to stay or a warm meal every day. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we do with scholarships, and particularly our board's leadership in addressing student basic needs. Recently, the Board of Trustees, under the leadership of Chair Matthews, passed a trustee-generated idea to make a large investment, a $700,000 investment in a laptop lending program and an expansion of our food pantry. Our students can't learn if they don't have food and a safe place to stay. And again, I'll end where I started, the leadership of our board in taking care of our students. And it is such a wonderful thing to welcome you all to our campus. And that is a very brief update on the college. Thank you for the time, Mayor, and now it's my pleasure to bring our city's mayor to the stage for the state of the city. Please welcome Lansing Mayor Andy Schor.
Live from Dart Auditorium in Lansing, Michigan, it's the 2026 State of the City. Presented by your host, Mayor Andy Schor. Featuring Raleigh Van Bussen from Economic Development and Planning, Chris Klein from Lansing Economic Development Corporation, and Julie Pinkston from Choose Lansing, Andy Kilpatrick and Nicole McPherson from Public Service, Delveda Moses and Daphne Whitfield from Human Relations and Community Services, Chief Carrie Edwards Clemens from the Lansing Fire Department, and special appearance by Big Luck. Now give a very warm welcome to Mayor Andy Schor.
Well, welcome everyone. Sorry you all had to stand up twice, but I do appreciate it, and I know you're really very curious about what's going to go on here tonight. So thank you for being here. Last year, when we did the State of the City, I turned to Scott Bean, my communications director, and Jason Gabriel, who runs our public media division, who put all this on. I talked to both of them and said, we're going to do it different. You know, every year I stand up and I'm the talking head and I give a speech and you all tell me what a great job I do, and thank you for that. But I really want to do something different. I was tired of being that talking head, and I wanted to have others join me to talk about the incredible things that we're doing in Lansing. So as you can probably tell already, we're going to do something a little different for this State of the City. First, I want to thank LCC President Steve Robinson for the intro. And thank you for the trustees for being here. As I was listening to the names being called out, I'm thinking, I hope that none of them talk to each other because I don't want a quorum problem. So no freedom of information, no Open Meeting Act violations. You all just don't talk to each other. But no, it is wonderful to be here in Dart Auditorium. When we heard about what LCC did to revitalize this place, we wanted to be here. We wanted to be here to see it, to show it off, what an incredible job that our community college does. So thank you for doing all of that. Tonight, you're going to see and hear some incredible things going on around our city. Economic development, roads, housing, human services, parks, and ways we can all work together to ensure that Lansing continues to grow and thrive. Being mayor is extremely rewarding, and I love it, but I can't do it alone. So I want to give my most sincere thanks to my incredible team here at the city. I'm thrilled to have many of my department directors, administration senior staff, mayoral staff, and city leaders here. So can you all please stand and be recognized? I hope you all can see them. I can't see a thing. I also want to thank our 900-plus city employees, our UAW employees, our Teamsters staff, our police officers, and our firefighters. Thank you to everyone who comes to work every day for the City of Lansing, for our residents, workers, and visitors. Thank you. And I also want to thank my fellow City of Lansing elected officials. We have City Clerk Chris Swope, and we've got 3 members of City Council here, City Council President Peter Spatafor, City Council Vice President Trini Palavanoglu, and Councilwoman Dea Navarez Martinez, right? I can see, okay, just making sure I can see that. So thank you all for being here, for all 4 of you for being here, and for really helping to lead this city. And as always, I can't do any of this without the support and love of my family. When I am stressed, my family is there for me. When I'm excited, they're there to celebrate with me. My staff put them right in my sight line so I can see them, which is really important. So my wife, Erin, and my son, Ryan, are here, as is my mother-in-law, Sue Carey. My daughter, Hannah, is at college, but I assume she's watching online. All right. That was funny, you all laughed, because there's no way she's watching online. My next option was she's studying, but realistically, she's out partying with her friends, but she's living the college life. She'll watch it later on YouTube. But to my family, thank you for being my biggest supporters. Thank you for everything you do for me and being there for me and for the City of Lansing. So before we start the show, and you're going to get to see a show, I want to take a quick moment to talk about how proud and excited we are that this year we are celebrating the 30th season of the Lansing Lugnuts. Big Lug is here.
You got ambitions. Lose 'em. You got vocal cords. Use 'em. You got the rhythm. You got the beat. You gotta clap your hands. You gotta stomp your feet. You gotta go nuts, go nuts, go nuts, go nuts. Lug nuts, lug nuts, lug nuts, lug nuts. Go nuts, lug nuts. This is our town. This is our team. If you're against us, you're gonna get green. Just stick around.
So with me here is my friend and our friend, the city's friend, Zach Clark. Zach is the general manager of the Lansing Lugnuts. Let me give you this. So Zach, what do we got ready for us for the 30th?
All right, we've got a big year for the 30th. So kicking things off, Crosstown Showdown, April 1st, everyone's favorite. Big Lug's best friend Sparty will be there. We'll take on the Spartans. April 2nd, opening night. April 3rd, we're going to celebrate Mayor Hollister.
We are.
That'll be his birthday, and he was instrumental in bringing the Lugnuts to town.
We are.
Everyone's favorite Laugh Q fireworks, Coors Light Thirsty Thursday, Capital City Market Kids Days. Expanding on the Locos this year, trying to grow that brand, the Olive Burgers.
Only here.
Yes, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Barbie, Peanuts. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Something for everyone.
Something for everyone. We're super excited.
Well, don't forget, get your tickets for the Lugnuts. Come check them out, 30th anniversary, and go see them and go nuts.
Go nuts.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. There we go. All right, I actually get to sit for this one, which is exciting. So now we're going to get into tonight's program. You can see my microphone here. So we know that every successful city has the amenities to grow and thrive. We have great jobs and housing for all incomes, reliable transportation, services like childcare. So my first guests tonight, they know how important it is for residents to have access to all of these things, an economy that moves us forward. So as you saw in the credits, please help me welcome Raleigh Van Fossen, Director of Economic Development and Planning for the City of Lansing. Chris Klein, President of the Lansing Economic Development Corporation, and Julie Pinkston, President and CEO of Choose Lansing. All right. They each get walk-up music too, so we're doing it right. So thank you all for being here, and let's start with housing. Housing's been a huge priority for our administration. We've watched new buildings go up for both multifamily and single-family housing. We've worked to assist with the rehabilitation of existing housing. So Raleigh, how about talking a little bit about the importance of housing and how we can increase and improve housing in Lansing?
Thank you, Mr. Letterman. I mean, Mayor Schor.
This is completely unscripted, as you can see.
For having us tonight. You know, when the mayor asked me, and certainly Julie and Chris, to join him on stage and talk about these important issues, the two things that came to mind for me as I followed the mayor's vision these last 8 years and going into the next 4 is two critical points when it comes to housing. It's preservation and it's building new units. You know, those are the two key parts he reinforces to me and my team, as well as others we work with. And so on the preservation side, and the role I get to play in the Department of Economic Development and Planning is quite critical. It's taking our existing housing stock, whether that be some of our historical houses, as you've heard from the president of the college tonight, as well as looking at just everyday folks' homes and ensuring that those can survive another 100 years. And so under the mayor's vision and leadership, I'm excited to say, you know, he shared last year in the state of city, and we've since implemented that we've brought back our home repair program, and we've taken over $900,000 of our annual community development block grant allocation from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We've put it onto the streets so that homeowners in our town can get that critical financing to ensure that home repairs to keep their house safe and accessible are here and available to them. So I'm happy to say that the team has completed over 8 of those already, and we've got another dozen or so in the pipeline to be completed this year. And that's a direct reflection of the mayor's vision to ensure that we're looking at preservation of our housing stock. But on the other front, it comes to new unit creation. This isn't something that's unique to Lansing. You hear about this all over the state. You hear about it all over the country. If not a global crisis that we're facing, is ensuring that we have a housing available. And the fun part of working for Mayor Schor is that we are involved in housing projects galore. Those are things like you see on the screen, the historic preservation and adaptive reuse of the former Walter French Junior High School. That opened its doors this last fall and created 76 new units of affordable housing, along with a first floor daycare, and relocated a critical nonprofit operations to the central heart of our city of Lansing. But we're not stopping there. We have over 1,000 units either in production or in the pipeline right now to be built here in the city, and those units to be made available. Those are projects like Capitol Walk that our city council supported just the other week. That's going to add new units and creations around Rudder Park. You certainly have heard and are following, hopefully, the New Vision Lansing project and are seeing the skyscraper downtown. And just last week, they poured the floor for the 7th floor, and so they're working their way up. All of that excites me in my role to show that we're creating a Lansing for our future, whether that be for the kids in our district now, offering them a place once they graduate to stay, if not as a recruitment tool for folks to come back or to come new to Lansing. All of those things excite me, again, as we focus on the mayor's vision to ensure that we're focused on preservation and new unit creation.
Wow, thank you, Raleigh. So it's not just housing, we also expect to be the best place in the world. And I asked Julie to come here because I went to her presentation recently with Choose Lansing, and we kind of walked away and we're just blown away by the numbers and the statistics. So Julie, can you share some of the amazing highlights that you shared with us?
I sure can. Thank you for having me, and I'm an anomaly on the stage. I am not a City of Lansing affiliated person. I do represent the region at Choose Lansing, and if you're not familiar, we have the honor and privilege of being able to market, promote, and develop this community for visitors. We get to tell the story of this community. We get to tell our cultural heritage. We get to be involved with the placemaking opportunities that make our destination unique for people from around the world. And they do come in droves. 6.7 million visitors is how many come to this community, and I don't think that you see them. You see people that are attending a soccer tournament and they're sitting next to you in a restaurant all in uniforms. You might think they're from Hazlitt. They're probably from Ohio or Indiana or anywhere around the Midwest. You can also see conventioneers going into the Lansing Center and attending conventions, trade shows, meetings, and symposiums. So all of those folks also go downtown, eat lunch, and look like us. So our destination hides our tourists very well, but they are so important to this economy for the region. I like to say that's $750 million comes into this community related to visitors that come here. And that is new money. That is money that's not circulating from me to Raleigh. That I know I don't have to give him any money today, but it's a way that that we can capitalize on new money coming into the community that does support 9,500 jobs in this region. And so for us as Choose Lansing, we're happy to be connected with the entire region, but know that a lot of what we promote, what we do, what we support takes place in the heart of our city in Lansing, in East Lansing. And so we're happy to have the partnership with the city of Lansing and be able to have a really great opportunity to give the world a view of what we have here in our own community. So thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Thank you for the talk show opportunity.
Well, thank you, Julie. And I had someone in my office just today who was just raving about the courtyard by Marriott, and they were saying that they loved it, and they were walking all around the city, and again, people in the cold, people they love it. So thank you for all that you do. We appreciate it. And Chris, over the past several years, Lansing has seen more than $4 billion with a B in investments. Economic development has been booming from small businesses to major manufacturing. So give us some of the highlights.
Yeah, so 2026 is exciting because it's our 50th year of the Lansing EDC.
Right.
And so love to celebrate that, but I'd say the last few years have been some of the most exciting. And we've seen, as you mentioned, over $4 billion in investment. Just this week, we had the announcement for LG Energy Solution, which a big project manufacturing battery cells, making Lansing really a hub for that industry, which is great. Them getting in a partnership with Tesla to ensure that we have those jobs into the future. So that's even better news, right? But we've had some really exciting years with over 2,000 units that we've worked on that have been completed since 2018.
So the numbers, we've increased the number.
Yes.
So even since this slide, we've added housing units.
And Israeli mentioned, more on the way. We have over 1,000 units that we've worked on that are approved or under construction. So that momentum continues. So again, love to see that. Just in 2025 alone, we had 5 projects that we advanced to approvals, and it was from the Brick Row project in the Stadium District to an emerging developer-led project, 820 West Miller Road, that rehab of that commercial center. And then also Nywave's latest expansion out at the airport, bringing 70 new jobs, but importantly, creating more medical isotopes to fight cancer. And that's just really excellent to see all of that variety of investment that we have, and excited to see more. Like I said, we have, I guess if there's any other, projects and things, there's, trying to think of some other examples here. I'm blanking.
That's all right. That's okay.
But yeah, I think, New Vision Lansing, how could I forget that, right? I mean, cranes in the air, I think that's 600 more units. We have thousands of units completed just in the last few years, and in the coming couple of years underway, we'll have thousands of new residents downtown. I think that will be a huge boon to our downtown.
So talk about it says facade improvements up here. Talk a little bit about facade improvements.
So that has been a very popular program since it was launched in 2018 and funded by the City of Lansing. So definitely appreciate those dollars to continue that program. This year we have the largest pool of funds that we've ever had for that program. And so it's really several times larger, so hoping to do many more projects there. We just closed that round for applications and have a couple dozen applications that we're hoping to fund. But that's really made our corridors more vibrant. We've had, almost 100. I think at the end of this year we might get to, 100 facades awarded under that project. And I think you're really starting to see some of that difference along corridors with the facade improvements and then really the improvements to businesses. But we've also, there's several other things that we work with those businesses to support technical assistance, licensing, registration, microloans, things of that nature.
Well, I appreciate it. We could talk a whole lot more, but before we go, I do want to mention that it was someone spoke of it, the emerging developers. We have two programs that we started after we received some ARPA dollars called our SEED program and our Empower programs, and we want to highlight them, so we're going to throw them out the board. Let's take a look.
Empowerment programs are so important to the community because, one, it's a way for people that are small business owners in the area, that's a way for them to connect, but they offered so much direction on how to build your business after that. The grant allowed for us to expand the business. We started producing retail items. After that, it was really easy for us to expand to other Meijer locations. So we're actually in all 5 Meijer Market locations throughout the state of Michigan. That was a huge move for us.
Some of the issues for me, and I think for many business owners, 1, access to capital, 2, systematizing, so having systems in place to strengthen your business, and 3, really being able to grow and develop your team. So with the Empower program, I was literally able to get support in all 3 of those areas. We received the enhancement grant from the LEDC. We're excited that we're able to touch more people and we're able to grow our business stronger and better with those 2 processes.
The most beneficial aspect of the program is that it takes someone from concept to creating an actual project. I think the balance of those that have a little experience and those that have more experience kind of creates a perfect mix and a perfect opportunity and space for kind of learning. I think it is extremely necessary, especially for emerging developers that might not otherwise have access to this type of resource.
So before I let you go, I'm gonna drag Raleigh in one more time. Last year, in my State of the City, I put bad landlords on notice that we were gonna use every tool to make housing better. So our code enforcement staff, our city attorney's staff, they took action. They've been making progress. So what can you tell us in like a minute or a half?
Absolutely, right? That was my warning. I don't have an hour, I have a minute and a half. Before I answer that question, I want to acknowledge that the good actors in our town, and there's many in the room tonight. I saw a couple coming in. We've got Brent Forsberg in the audience. We have our Ingham County Treasurer, Alan Fox, former MISHTA Executive Director, Gary Heidel. They're just to name a few, and anybody else I forgot, I haven't seen. I'm so sorry, but that's what excites me is the good actors who are proposing projects, who are bringing them online, but are doing the right thing by day-to-day management. Because we see too many bad actors in town where they built a unit, they built a complex, maybe they got an incentive, but then after a couple years, just the day-to-day management subsided. And so you're right. Last year, you put folks on notice that time is up and that we're going to take serious action. And I'm excited to say that we've had a great partnership with the City Attorney's Office over the last year in doing just that. Whether it's complexes like the former Sycamore Townhomes, former Autumn Ridge, we've taken action to ensure that landlords know that if you don't play by our rules and our expectations, whether that's from the administration and or city council, then you're going to be held accountable because our residents deserve better. And I can say in a year's time, Autumn Ridge is now Evergreen Park under new ownership with those units reopening. Sycamore Townhomes is under new ownership with those units expected to start opening later this fall. And so it's working. That message is working. And I'd say to anybody watching on YouTube, certainly Hannah and her friends down in Ann Arbor, that if you're looking to be a developer in the future, we expect you to play by the rules.
Well, thank you. Thank you, all 3 of you. We appreciate it. All right, thank you. So, we're still figuring out the transitions. Lansing residents expect to have access to amenities and a good quality of life. We're proud to be a vibrant, diverse, welcoming community for all. From our incredible river trail, our 111 parks, public art, live music, more festivals than you can count, Lansing has something for everyone. So let's take a look and see what we got. So as you can see, we have a lot of fun in Lansing, especially last year. And this summer, we're going to open the newly restored historic Moores Park Pool, and we're going to celebrate the 100th birthday. And we're going to celebrate the 100th birthday of our Groesbeck Golf Course. So lots of anniversaries. So thank you to our Parks Department, our Neighborhoods, Arts, and Citizen Engagement Department, and everyone else working hard to ensure that we remain a vibrant community. And in addition to living in a vibrant community, residents expect and deserve good, efficient city services from their local government. One of the biggest areas that I hear the most about, and no one's going to be surprised, is roads. Anyone surprised? No, I didn't think so. So please help me welcome my next guests. Andy Kilpatrick, our director of the city's public service department, and Nicole McPherson, our city engineer. All right, welcome. Let's start with the first thing that everybody who drove here is going to ask you about. Potholes. So Andy, we know that we're going through a freeze thaw right now. So it was cold, it was warm, it's cold, it's warm. People are hitting the potholes. So how are we doing on potholes? How can people let us know about them?
Well, you talked about Parks and Recreation being fun, but we have the fun department, all the fun here. Potholes, they're a reality in Michigan, and a reality, with our roads. But the one thing that I think is great about moving forward is we have top 10 list, right, of how to report potholes. No, I can't come up with 10, but we'll see if I get 5 or 6. Easiest way, I think, is call 311 during the business day. There you go, shout out to 311. They will put it in for you, so you don't have to know anything other than where the pothole is. If you want to kind of do it more yourself, got a phone, Lansing Connect on here, you can download that, iOS or Android. GPS, and not just potholes, a lot of city services that you need for repairs, it works very well for that. You can go to the city's website, type in, report a complaint or a concern. It'll take you to the same thing that you get on Lansing Connect. Report an issue, you can search that. That's for our streets. So anything within the city of Lansing. I forgot one other. 24/7, our operations and maintenance number, 483-4161. So any kind of concern you can't get during the day, and you might not get a person at night, but we have an on-call service. A supervisor will then, take care of that, or if it's not an emergency the next day, but it'll go into the same system. MDOT roads that are the freeways, we do not do those. So 127, 496, 96, 69, you need to report those to MDOT. They do have a complaint form online. You can fill that out, or they also have a number and a recording. So those are maybe 5, 6 ways you can report potholes, and they, at least on the city, all go to the same place through our work order system. They get dispatched, and our goal is to get 95% of them within 48 hours. Most of the time we do, but on an average year, we'll get 2,000 to 2,400 pothole complaints, and we are coming up to peak months. March and April. April is the peak month for potholes, and on a bad year, I don't know if it's a bad or a good year, but we'll get 600, and on sort of an average, we'll get about 300 pothole complaints in the month of April.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. So everyone, I hope you all wrote down your 5 or 6 ways we are trying to help out everyone. So in addition to potholes, we do major street repairs. Last year, I said we would be fixing Pleasant Grove, Councilwoman Pelavanoglu. I believe I promised that to you. But we promised Pleasant Grove, we promised Mount Hope, which is where I got a lot of questions as I was knocking doors last year. And I'm proud to say we got those done along with Michigan Avenue. Well, we actually haven't gotten Mount Hope. We're doing that this year. We're doing Mount Hope this year. We got Michigan Avenue done and Pleasant Grove. So that's what we promised last year, and that's what we got done. So Nicole, what are we looking at for this year?
You kind of stole my thunder on Mount Hope.
Sorry.
So,
Councilwoman Navarez Martinez lives right on Mount Hope, so she's going to be excited for that.
Yeah, so this year with our major road program, we're doing about 5 miles of roadway, investing about $7 million into our major road system. With that, we're going to hit Pennsylvania Avenue, Mount Hope, Jolly, Kavanaugh, and the second half of Pleasant Grove. Along with that, we're also touching our neighborhood streets. So for our local streets, we're investing over $5 million of rehabbing about 9 miles in neighborhood streets throughout the city. You know, that's in partly with city projects that we're bidding out. Our operations and maintenance staff do a lot. They do about 3 miles of that work throughout the city. And we also partner with the Board of Water and Light. When they're doing a water main project, they do one half of the road. We come in and help out with the other half of the road. So we have a nice, fresh road when everybody leaves. You know, also a lot of our roadways get rehabbed when we go through with our everybody's favorite combined sewer overflow project. So with that, we're continuing with that, and with the projects that are ongoing right now, along with the new one that is upcoming in our downtown area, we have, you know, close to over 10 miles of roadways that local and major that we will be rehabilitating. We can't really forget about our bridges either. So with our bridges, we are continually maintaining those, and you know, we're doing a pretty good job with our bridges. But this upcoming year, we're spending about $3 million in rehabbing about 5 of our bridges between preventative maintenance and replacement.
That's great. No, that's great. So funding to repair our streets comes mostly from the state of Michigan. And I tell a lot of people that. As I've said over and over, we have about $300 million in need right now if we were to do all of it. And we were getting about $14 million a year from the state, and then we added to that from the state gas tax and registration fees, and then we would add to that about $3 million from our own millage. Now, last year, we heard a lot about roads in the news, and Governor Whitmer and our state legislators, Senator Anthony, Senator Singh, Representatives Witwer, Hope, and Devendorf, along with a bipartisan group of legislators, they came together and they passed a new funding plan. So Lansing will see a few million dollars more per year from the state, meaning we can start to get more streets repaired and resurfaced. And of course, what I hear more often than anything is, what about the neighborhood roads? We know that the neighborhood roads have been neglected. We haven't had the money. We talked about main roads. So for Andy and Nicole, so how are we going to use this increased funding to get more neighborhood streets fixed?
So for the city, this is good news. For the driver, it might be bad news because of, you know, might be paying a little more at the pump. However, because most of our needs are met now for maintenance and snow plowing and potholes and everything else, almost all of that additional funding you're seeing will be going into projects, and a significant amount of that will be in the neighborhood streets because our major streets are in better shape and we already kind of have those plans. So in talking with Nicole, we figured maybe we'd get about another 9-ish miles of roads that we would not have done other than this funding. So it will take a little while for us to get those projects out the door, get contractors on board, but you will see a significant increase in what's going on in neighborhoods. We won't neglect completely the major streets, but a lot of the need's been in the neighborhoods, so you're going to see a lot more going on in neighborhoods over the next several years as that funding ramps up.
Right, and we're going to get more money. That's right, yes. We're going to get more money each year because the legislature ratcheted up little by little. So that's good news. And certainly I look forward to putting these funds to work and seeing how much progress we can get in fixing as many streets as we can this year and in years to come. So thank you both. I appreciate you both being here to share this with us. Good news for once on roads. Exactly. So my next guests, they know and understand the importance of providing services, basic human service needs to those in our community that need help. From our Human Relations and Community Service Department, let's welcome Interim Director Delveda Moses and Contract Manager Daphne Whitfield. You have a strong cheering section. So welcome. We know that the HRCS team works hard to connect residents with services and administers many grants to I don't know, 70, 80 or so different agencies throughout the state. So Delveda, how much did we give out last year, and what are some of the community programs that we're funding?
Well, Mayor and everybody, we gave out $1.6 million to assist agencies who provide services in the areas of basic needs, youth services, family support services, career readiness, homeless and housing stability services, emergency food support, healthcare assistance, medical, mental health, and substance abuse programs.
That's right.
And to name a few of the agencies, I'm just going to name a few. All of them are awesome. I'm just going to name a few today. We funded Child and Family Charities, who support youth homelessness and transitional housing. We supported Mid-Michigan Recovery Services, who provide drug and alcohol treatment services to the Lansing community. And we supported a new agency called dept Service and Resources, which is a new agency that focuses on housing stability for seniors, which is especially critical right now because we know that seniors have become the fastest growing group facing homelessness.
Well, that's great. That's great. That's great. And we know that you and our staff do a lot of hard work. Our HRCS advisory board does a lot of hard work. Our city council, they review all this as we go to council with our budget every year. So it's a wonderful partnership that everyone has. We also have a coat drive, so let's talk just a minute about the coat drive.
Okay, yes. First, before I go into details about the coat drive, I just want to say that the HRCS team is awesome. They work hard day in and day out, and so I just wanted to give kudos to our team. Okay, so the coat drive. Last year, HRCS led the 7th annual coat drive, the Let's Share the Warmth coat drive, which resulted in collection of over 900 coats. Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. In addition to the coats, we collected a substantial amount of gloves, earmuffs, and scarves for those in need. We were able to directly assist 350 individuals during the Community Connect event, where we disseminated the coats along with boxed lunches and personal care items. Following the event, HRCS continued to receive calls for coats, and we were able to help those in need with the additional coats that we had. More than 15 community agencies participated in the event, offering resources and services. The Ingham County Health Department assisted us by providing vaccines, screenings, medical supplies, wound care, and harm reduction kits to ensure that the community members had access to critical health services as winter approached. And we are very thankful. We really, really appreciate the support of the community and also the support of our community partners.
That's right. That's right. Well, and I don't know if they're here, but thank you to CATA, because we do a big event, our Community Connect, at the bus station.
Thank you, CATA.
At CATA. So I think I see him. I think I hear him.
Thank you.
But thank you to CATA. When we see people roll through, it is tremendously exciting that they are able to get some food and to get some coats and gloves and so many other things. Again, wonderful partnerships.
Yes,
so we also know that we did a comprehensive homelessness study, and from that, our HRCS team saw the need for housing stabilization and an initiative, and we started the work on our pods. Daphne, I know that this has been something that you have worked very closely with Kim Coleman on. So what are some of the goals with the program that we're now calling the NOVA project?
So I don't know if you all remember August the 11th, 2025, when we went before council with this. And the room was like literally packed. And I have never really been in the pit before. So I'm down in the pit and we're going to introduce this program. And I saw the people all over. And I'm like, I just want to go get home, you know, because you had people there that were concerned and they were happy for it and sad. Some were indifferent, some were angry. But this began this adventure that we've been on since last year with Lansing, NOVA Lansing Housing Initiative. And we have two goals in mind, and I think both of them are vitally important. One is that we create a robust transitional housing program because the citizens of this community deserve it, but they came out that night to prove that it was something that was important to them as much as it is important to us. And so transitional housing gives the supportive services to an individual that oftentimes are the reason why they end up homeless in the first place. And so with NOVA, we would like to offer intense case management, workforce development, financial literacy, mental and physical health services, skill building, basic skills for people, because it has been found that this type of housing is really what situates a person to be stabilized, maintain their housing, and then have a better quality of life. That's our first goal. Our second goal is when the citizens of Lansing came out, we didn't care if you were hollering at the top of your lungs, because we've been in meetings where that has happened. The ideal for us was to listen to you actively to find out exactly what you wanted for this program. So now that we're past finding the place where they're going to be situated because the mayor has chosen, our second goal is for this to continue to be total participatory planning. You asked us if we were going to listen to you. We did. We told you that we would go every place that you figured that you would want this housing project to be at. We went to 60 locations. And so now that we've surpassed all of that, we are back at square one to begin the actual planning. We have 5 teams. Each team is chaired by a member of our staff. The teams are community outreach and recruitment, resident and stakeholder input and co-design, community building and engagement programs, communication and feedback mechanisms, partnerships and collaborations. This is real participatory planning. It is a collaborative approach that actively involves all stakeholders so that it is inclusive, so that it is equitable, so that it is sustainable, that we are creating locally informed solutions to those priorities that are needed in our community. And so if I was gonna say what the 2 goals are, I would say it would be those 2. That we, first of all, want a robust program. Second of all, we need you all. We want this to be hands and boots on the ground, with you guys helping us out and participating so that we can say that this was built by Lansing.
That's awesome. So we're talking helping people and talking to the community while doing it. I know you have been to several council member meetings. I think each of the ward members have had the meetings. We have them most recently in the 2nd ward. And again, I know that you've been all over the city and talking to residents. Sometimes folks come in and they don't wholly understand it, and then by the time they leave, I think they do. So thank you both very much for all of your hard work, and thank you to the whole team. So moving on to our police department, our police chief is not able to be here this year, but we know that our team over at LPD works tremendously hard. So even though the chief couldn't be here, we were able to get him and get him on video. So let's take a look at what he's got to say.
Hi, I'm Rob Backus, Chief of Police for the Lansing Police Department. 2025, we saw some dramatic decreases in crime, and we're very encouraged by the progress that we saw. And our hope is that this trend continues. In 2025, we saw a 30% reduction in fatal shootings, on top of a 19% decrease in non-fatal shootings. This past year, we're still investigating 1 open homicide, but we're encouraged because that case currently sits with the prosecutor's office. We also seized over 350 illegal firearms during our police operations. It's safe to say that our proactive efforts, specifically related to firearm and firearm violence, are making a difference in this city. There's several things that we think are responsible for that. First is the dedicated effort and hard work from all the employees at LPD, from our officers down to our professional staff. Also, we think that our technology that we've incorporated into our operations is playing a very big role as well. But finally, we have to mention our community partnerships. In 2025, we started a new effort called the Summer Safety Plan. One of the most important parts is we start to incorporate proactive measures into that engagement. So one thing we did last year is we started handing out gun locks to people. because that safe storage law that came out that we've been educating people on is so important for us addressing firearm violence. So we were giving out gun locks last year. We're going to continue that in 2026. All that was made possible by a grant from MCOLS. We're excited. We've received a grant from the COPS office so that we can continue to fund our 2026 Safe Summer Plan. We also hosted pop-up events at different neighborhoods around the city. These were organic events that we somewhat coordinated with our neighborhood watch groups, and were really designed to get the neighborhoods out into their local parks, interacting with police departments, so we can engage with them. In 2025, we added 20 new officers to the police department. We currently have 7 of our sponsored recruits in the LCC Police Academy. They'll be graduating in May, but we've also added 2 lateral officers, which is a big step for us because those are officers who have chosen to continue their career in law enforcement at the Lansing Police Department. We are very excited about moving into the new public safety building. Some of the different things we're really looking forward to, this building will have a dedicated real-time crime center. It's going to have larger rooms for not only training our officers, but hosting community events. There's going to be partnerships, room for partnerships with the Michigan State Police and ATF, so we can continue to focus on our crime fighting efforts. We want to thank the citizens of Lansing because none of this could be accomplished without them. We're very grateful for that. We look forward to more community engagement in 2026. Whether we're at the park over by the pool grilling hot dogs and inviting everybody over, or whether we are shutting down Capitol Avenue, putting up basketball hoops, that community engagement is so important to us because that is where we are interacting with all parts of our neighborhoods, the people that don't have experience with the police department every day and need to have that one-on-one contact and engagement. So they see what we're all about. None of this progress would be possible without the support that our department has received. And that's not only in the community, but that's from inside too. The mayor and the mayor's staff has helped the Lansing Police Department. So thank you to the mayor and his team for helping the Lansing Police Department be successful in our city. We're going to make Lansing a safer place to live, work, and visit.
So I swear I did not tell him to say that, but that was very nice. I also want to thank many of our different community partners. He mentioned them. We utilize Advanced Peace as what's called community violence interrupters. We work very closely with the Lansing Empowerment Network, which is a grassroots organization that deals with gun violence and reduction of gun violence. And as they like to say at LEN, every reduction in gun violence, whether homicide or non-fatal shooting, it's not just a number. It's one more person that is not affected by gun violence. So we went from 13 homicides to 8, and when you do that, it's not just a reduction in numbers, it's that many people that are not affected, that many families that are not affected. So it's working. The plan is working. And again, I appreciate the chief and LPD. I appreciate all of our community members involved. And we're gonna keep up the fight because we're gonna keep driving those numbers down. So thank you. So now I wanna stick with public safety. In January, I proudly announced that I was promoting Assistant Fire Chief Carrie Edwards Clemens to be our next fire chief. So please help me welcome. Please help me welcome to the stage Chief Carrie Edwards Clemens, who has a big fan club. There is just a ton going on at LFD. We meet pretty often, we're in cabinet, and every time I run into Chief, I see the big smile because there's something exciting going on. Even when she's got bad news, she gives it to me with a big smile, which I love. But there's so much going on in LFD for our community. Firefighters, EMS calls, helping people, new and rehabilitated fire stations. We just heard about a new public safety complex. We're certified. We're really moving and shaking. So tell me a little bit about what you see as our accomplishments and what you see coming.
Wow, so I am super excited about Lansing Fire Department. We have responded to over 2,000 fire calls and 22,000 EMS calls.
22,000.
Yes. And so that was in 2025, and now we're responding more. And so LFD is extremely busy, and the men and women of Lansing Fire Department, they are unstoppable. They are unstoppable. With the support of the community and the way the community has shown that they support the fire department by passing these millages so that we can erect these stations has been just amazing for morale and just to let the fire department know that they are seen, heard, and appreciated. And so we just opened Station 2, and that was like Christmas. I tell people all the time. Out of my 26-year career, I've never seen community support like this. We opened Fire Station 2. We're getting ready to open Fire Station number 9 later this year. And also they're renovating Fire Station number 8. And what that means is that my firefighters will be rested and ready because you know they're there 365. They're there 24/7. And so it's like home. And some of the stations, if you've seen the before and after, you kind of wonder, Chief, what's going on? And I said, you know what? The community recognized that the fire department needed more, and they provided that. And so what you're going to see in these areas, once we get up and going, you're going to see a decrease in response time. They're going to be ready. They're going to be rested. And also with the new training facility, that is going to be amazing because a lot of people don't think about all the services that the fire department provide. If you're stuck on a pole, a telephone pole, the fire department is coming to get you down. If you're stuck in a hole, the fire department is coming to get you out. If you're stuck out on the river, the fire department is coming. High angle rescue, tech rescue, hazmat. This is Lansing Fire, and they are awesome.
So I remember seeing the pictures. We walked through the fire stations before, and we don't have them up, but you had the same showers for men and women, so they had to get out and get in and change out in locker rooms. They had sleeping quarters because they're there 24-hour shifts and sleeping quarters. They had exercise equipment, so it smelled like sweat. And I mean, we remember walking through this with the community. I remember Kelly Dean coming with us and leading, and we walked through it, and people were stunned. Folks in the Chamber of Commerce are there, and they were stunned. Yes. And I know that was really part of it. One other thing I wanted to hit on, a few years ago, we made the decision to use what's called the ALS 360 system, which was, if you think about an ambulance and you pull out the cot. The cot, all right, the cot. Okay. Yeah. And it's got legs, but they have to lift it, and this system it was automatic and it was hydraulic, and we wanted to do that to try and prevent injury and save firefighters, from injury. Yes. So, I mean, how's that working out?
It's working out fantastic. So a lot of things that we try to do is to protect the firefighters and equip them so that they can better serve the community. And to think about ergonomics and the lifting and the moving and all the strain that's placed on a firefighter. And I know they seem invincible. I know they do. But we have to look at just maintaining and making sure that they're healthy mentally and physically. And so we have this program, and it's a 10-year commitment. And so what it does, it replaces the cots. It gives us a Lucas machine. If you've ever seen, we do a lot of CPR, and that Lucas machine kind of does it for us. But we have to, of course, it's a machine, so machines need operating, so we have to be the operators. And so it's been a program that has been, we've been able to replace our equipment, maintain our equipment, and they look at so that we don't have to do a whole lot of things and we can be ready to respond. So the program has been working out well.
That's great. That's great. So no, we appreciate it. There's just so much going on with our fire department and our firefighters. And we're so very proud and thankful that you are here to be leading this department.
Thank you.
And we look forward to all the great things coming.
Right. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. And I want to thank my staff that's here. They came out, they support me.
I do.
And I couldn't do nothing without them.
I do.
We have a wonderful community risk reduction car seat program, CPR program, AED program, safe sleep program. We have all these things going on for the community for free. And we have that. And so not only do we respond to fires in EMS, but we try to address the fire and safety needs of the community as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity to serve.
And we're sending people out to check fire alarms.
Yes, we are.
Smoke detection.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
So another area, I'm nervous on this one, another area I've prioritized is helping the residents who need to contact the city. That's why when our new city hall opens later this year, we're going to have a one-stop shop. A few years ago, in my State of the City speech, I announced that we would be launching our One Call to City Hall 311 call center for our residents. I get regular reports on how busy they are. I recently checked in to see how they were doing and to see if they needed just a little bit of help.
So we get a ton of calls here at 311. Last year we took over 44,000 phone calls. It's gotten so busy, even Mayor offered to help. With a bit of training, I think he could be a really good agent.
Thank you for calling the City of Lansing. This is Andy. How can I help? City of Lansing, this is Andy. Thank you for calling 311, your one call to City Hall.
It's crazy. He knew every department and program, all the services.
Okay, so you're calling about cart services. You want to sign up for parks and recreation programs. So where exactly is the pothole on your street?
I mean, he didn't even have a cup of coffee when he came in.
We are always happy to assist. City of Lansing, how can we help?
He's good. Almost too good.
So I came in and I grabbed Augie's book and I ran with it. Everybody tells me I'm great at this, that I should be the assistant manager.
Assistant to the manager.
I'll send someone out, we're gonna get that pothole. And we'll pick up your trash. We'll do all of it.
Oh, well, let's give a hand for our public media folks. They prepped all of that. And thank you to our 311 call center staff. I really do spend time there just talking to them when I can and watching the calls that come in. And they work hard. They receive almost 1,000 calls a week. And we hear it, Delisa Fontaine, who's the director there, she reports them every week in my cabinet. We have a little game of who got the most calls. Public service wins most of the time. People on cart calls, and we get calls about tax refunds, and we want to help, right? When I sat there with Augie Martinez, who you saw speaking, you know, he has such a passion for just helping people. We don't want to just be, you know, somewhere you have to call one of 6,000 numbers and get put on hold because in the department they really don't have customer service and it's just someone answering the phones. We want to have experts, and these experts are trained. They're trained by the departments. So it's working really well. They do have a lot of fun doing it. So thank you to all of our call center staff. Thank you to Delisa Fontaine. Thank you to Augie Martinez. And when you call 311, know that you're going to get a person, and please thank them for their help. So there's just so much going on in the city of Lansing, and this is just a sample of all the great work being done from our city, from our partners. I could keep going, I could go on and on, I could talk about so much more, but to be honest with you, I know what day it is, and you probably want to get home and get ready for the men's and women's MSU and U of M basketball games tomorrow. This is where I thought the council president was going to jump out of his seat and actively kill me. But go blue, go green. And as we end tonight's program, no talk show would be complete without the host telling you to check under your chairs for a special gift. Okay, don't worry. I'm not going to do that. We actually didn't put any gifts under. But as Oprah likes to say, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. And I was told to throw one as far as I can. So, Thank you to all of our special guests who joined us tonight. They really were put on the spot. We told them like yesterday, but they all knew what they were talking about. But they and all of you out there in the audience that I can't see are what gives me excitement for the future of Lansing every day. The state of our city is strong, and we have so much to be excited and hopeful for right now. As I always say, you know it, Lansing's time is now, and the best is yet to come. So thank you for watching the first and very probably the last Lansing show. And don't forget to grab your very own car on the way out. Thank you, everybody. I figured as much. All right. Thank you.